Right, well, okay, here we are in the facelifted Golf R. This is a 2017 model, so it is one of the first ones of the facelift. And we'll start off with the interior. Obviously, in the console here, that's your main menu. For all your functions from the main menu, and of course the touch buttons at the side. Radio, of course. And as with the last Golf R, this is a much bigger screen than in the last car. You can go through that via your buttons there. Then your media, of course, and that means you can plug in obviously iPods, that kind of thing, as you would normally do in most cars these days. Your phone, obviously you can connect your phone to the car with Bluetooth, very good system, much updated compared to the old one. And of course you do have voice control there as well. In terms of your navigation, as I said, it is a bigger screen than the pre-facelift pre-facelift Golf. Very, very clear and actually very straightforward from what I can tell there. And of course you've got your assumption there for touching the screen, so if the screen senses your finger coming up to it, it will give you the options there that it thinks you may use. In terms of apps, of course, you can connect again to the car with your app connect there. The car function gives you the parameters of the car, so you can check your oil level, all that kind of thing remotely on this car, and tells you how the car is performing at any point in time, your MPG and all that kind of thing, of course. With your ventilation system, it is of course dual zone climate control in this car, and you can use that function pretty simply. You've got all the buttons there to use that system. A lot of cars obviously these days they're using the touchscreen to control the ventilation. It is much better to have buttons for certain things. I can see why they do it to reduce the level of buttons in the car, but certain things I think you need buttons for. And it is a very simple to use a dual zone climate control system, with obviously your demist and all your usual buttons there as you'd expect. This car also has the optional heated seats, of which they are 3-stage for driver and passenger. Very nice in this particular car, obviously with it having the leather, that is very useful in winter. You can get it without, you can have heated seats without leather, but if you do have the leather, very useful. This one coming down is fitted with the optional DSG gearbox. It's a twin clutch gearbox, as we've come to expect from VW. You have your normal functions there, neutral, drive, and nudge it over there into sport mode. You can then use the paddle shifts to change gear, which is really nice in a performance car. As with most cars these days, it does have a stop-start function. You can turn that off by pressing that button there, and that will not operate. It also has to operate in certain circumstances, so the engine has to be warm enough, the battery has to have enough charge, all that kind of thing before it will work anyway. Then you can turn your traction control off if you so wished. That is on, of course, by default unless you do that. And then you've got your parking sensor button there to turn the front sensors off, mainly the front sensors, that's for in circumstances where you would not need that function. You have the auto hold function as well, obviously for hill starts, because of course this car does have electronic handbrake. Moving on to the console here, you've got your LCD display there. It is of course a lot more updated again compared to the pre-facelift Golf. It's surprising how many updates, small updates, can make such a big difference. Very, very clear and easy to understand, and your buttons there on the steering wheel for certain functions as well. You can use your phone on that side, voice control there of course as well, and your cruise control, which again, very easy to operate. Moving over here, of course, you've got your lights, they're in the off position at the moment. You've got the auto lights there as well, which I think most people leave it in the auto light function, as you'd expect. You don't really need to think about that too much then. Onto the door, your usual mirror controls, heated electric of course, they are power folding on this particular car too, your door lock buttons and front and back windows, and of course you can lock the windows with that button there, so people in the back can't put them up or down if so desired. Not forgetting, of course, the stop-start button. It is a push-button start in this car. You just need the foot on the brake and you can start the engine. We're not going to do that in here, of course, because we're in a showroom. And of course, on the stalks there, you've got your indicators and your wipers on that side, as you'd expect. Moving on to the centre console, we do have a couple of very useful cup holders there. The centre console does open up for additional storage, and it is very nice. We've got the 4Motion there badge, just to remind us that this is, of course, 4-wheel drive, which with 310 horsepower going through the car, very useful indeed. Like I said previously, this car does have the optional leather seats. As standard, they come with cloth seats. It is very desirable to have the leather, and I think it really does make the car extremely comfortable, very supportive seats, without being too bucket-like that they're uncomfortable. Just give you the exact right amount of support. It's very comfortable indeed. And of course the appeal with the Golf R and the Golf in general is its breadth of abilities. It's a practical family car. You can use it for doing your shopping, you can use it for days out. It's got a big boot, plenty of space in the back, and in the case of the Golf R, it's a performance machine as well. Like I said before, 310 horsepower in this car. I really think in most cases is all you're ever going to need. It's fantastic. This car does have the optional panoramic roof, which I really do think sets the car off. It is one of the must-have options. It makes such a difference to the lighting inside the car. Obviously, being a Golf R, it has the black anthracite headlining, and it really does need that light, I think, let in the car. And of course, you can open it up. We do have the wind deflector there on top, so the buffeting isn't really an issue on this car. It does have the optional as well 19-inch Pretoria wheels. There's a few options on this car, the main ones being the roof, the wheels, the paint and the leather. There's probably a few others that I'm not aware of as well. The 19-inch Pretoria wheels really do set the car off. One of the must-have options, I think, on the Golf R. We mentioned, of course, the roof there really does make the difference to the interior ambience, we could say. The lapis blue paint. There's a number of colour options available on the Golf R. In my opinion, this is my favourite. It does really set the car off. This has the chrome wing mirror colours. Now, you can have optional black wing mirrors. I think the chrome ones really stand out and actually work well contrasting with the blue paint. This kind of power, it's absolutely a phenomenal performance tool. With, of course, 4-wheel drive to put all that power on the road and keep things nice and safe. It really is the car for all purposes. There's a few cars that I could think of that if someone asked me which one would I have to do everything, this would be in the running without a shadow of a doubt. It just does everything you need with all the gadgets, all the safety technology that's fitted to Golfs and VWs in general these days. Typical Golf really, very, very nice, very well thought out, and the R is no different to that. Just brightened up slightly with the finish on this particular car. The exterior, the quality, you can tell instantly it's a quality build. Like I said, this one is the facelift model, so it's got the updated front headlights with the updated running lights and turn signals, and updated rear lights as well, which were already LED in the previous in the pre-facelift. They've just been updated slightly in terms of design on this particular car. It's a really, really nice place to be, as you'd expect from VW in general, and especially for the Golf R. It's a car that does everything. It's practical, it's quick, it doesn't cost the earth to run. It really is the car for all purposes.